Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Here we are again at Kenshi. And I've edited this one down, so it'll be a little bit of, cuts and jumps around here and there. But as you recall, last time we managed to escape from Rebirth with our three guys here, and now we need to go into survival mode. We're no longer in escape mode, we're in survival mode. And so this person here, the Flotsam Ninja, they're really strong. That's 47 attack right there, and we cannot take them out. But we desperately need food, and they will not sell it to us. So we are going to try and steal it. So I'm going to take my guy up here. I see that they have clothing, some food, and various other things here that we will need in our journey to continue. So I pause the game and immediately get caught stealing because, well, we only have like a 50% to steal. But if the game's paused, you can keep stealing over and over again, and just like over and over and over again. Even if you get caught, it doesn't matter because they can't stop you for right now. So I just sort of loot everything here that we can: food, clothing, anything that would be something that we need. And I equip the armor that we can. I get pants and stuff for the rest of the guys down there who are standing around. Those pants don't really do anything, so I just kind of leave them there. And then I'm looking at the price that we can sell stuff for as well, because if we can get some loot to sell, when we eventually find a vendor, we can sell some stuff. So I'm looking down at the other stuff we can get down here. There's a number of barrels and stuff that could store items. So we're going to go down, but they want to attack me. So I send my two guys to attempt to distract them by attacking them instead, while my main character comes down here to try to loot some things. And anytime we open up a container, we will pause just to make sure that we can actually search for stuff, right? So there's nothing in this barrel that we specifically want or need right now. We're looking for food and medical supplies, and also clothing and armor to hide ourselves to make us not look like a slave, essentially. So we'll be stealing this stuff here. I'm trying to rearrange the inventory so I can fit more stuff in. Still can't take that thing. Sometimes it does take a couple of tries to take what we need, but eventually we're getting it. So I'm looking around, seeing where to look next. I'm wondering if I should run away here, or if we should continue to try and take more stuff from them. But I decide we're stealing more stuff. So here I am trying to steal some Band-Aids, which we're getting some here and there. If you look at the numbers, you can see them go down sometimes. Other times we get caught right away when we try to steal it. But that's just kind of the risk you take when you're being a thief. So you'll see I do this over and over again, and I just wanted to keep this amount of stealing in here so that y'all can kind of see how tedious it can be to steal and acquire goods right away. But this is what you do essentially when you just start out Kenshi. You steal because you need supplies, and the only way to really get them easily is steal. There are other ways you can get supplies or money to get supplies first, but fastest way is to steal. But we're gonna cut real quick here to after I've stolen some more stuff, because it's just kind of tedious. As you can see, all the medkits are gone, and at this point I got kind of bored of taking bread. So I say enough's enough, and we are going to try to escape. I'm gonna leave my guys attacking for now and try to escape with as many as I can here. So my main character has to absolutely get away, but the rest of them I'm trying to have still attack her to prevent them from going after my main character. So as you can see, the red background by the player icons there means that they're engaged in combat. Well, our main character is mostly free, so I'm just going to try to get as far away from them as possible. But right there, you can see Zan's portrait and Wall's portrait went black, or kind of like grayed out. That's because they went down or unconscious or something. And then because the Flotsam Ninja has 24 mile per hour run speed, they can just catch up to me very quickly. And so I'm looking and seeing like, okay, Wall ain't getting up anytime soon. Zan is up, but his right leg is just completely ruined. he can't do much in terms of walking. So I'm like, maybe I can run away, and no. Main character goes down. So at this point, I pause and I'm like, oh shit, okay, what can we do here? So Zan is up, but the enemy doesn't seem interested in attacking us anymore. So I'm going to try to get Zan over to our main character to heal him. And since he's just crawling on his belly, it's going to take a long time, because he moves at 3 miles per hour here. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when we're crawling here. And there's not much difference in sneak crawling or crawling normally. But we're going to cut until Zan gets real close to us, just so we don't waste much time crawling, doing nothing, right? So, as you can see, Zan is real close now. He's crawling his way up. And we're going to real quickly take some items from Cirrus and then start healing him with the bandages. You can see the red bars filling up with yellow, meaning that those are damaged parts, but they have been repaired, essentially. Now that Cirrus is done, we're going to look to do some triage here next. So Zan, if you recall, he's still a little injured, so we're going to have him heal himself. And at this point, we run out of bandages and have to take more from Cirrus. So he's going to take a couple of bandages here. And in the meantime, we're also going to take some of the clothing that we have, just to make sure that we're a little bit better protected. And we're going to get some food as well, since Zan is a little bit hungry. So I gave him one of each. And then Zan is going to heal himself. You can see he's going out healing. And I see some people moving over there. I'm like, oh crap, what is this? But it looks like they're just skeletons. And skeletons, they don't really get involved in much unless there are some very specific skeletons in specific areas. But they're just walking around being normal. So they're fine. So then I'm looking, and I see Zan is getting healed. We're good. Healing up that leg now. Oh, he can crouch and stand, so I'm like, okay. We need to get more bandages. We also need to get Cirrus away from this person here. So they don't seem interested in attacking us anymore. So I just pick Cirrus up, and we're going to walk over to Wall. And we're going to cut after I move Wall and Cirrus over towards the road to get them kind of away from the building here. And at this point, I'm just swapping out all the gear that I can to lighten our load, make us weigh less, that sort of stuff, right? There's no sense carrying extra stuff. We want to look as little like slaves as we can in order to avoid getting captured again, essentially. But I'm just kind of checking all of their information, making sure we have food and stuff readily available. And now I'm kind of deciding where to go from here. So we can go north into the Floodlands. And the Floodlands is an area I haven't played much time in, or we can go towards the west, towards Obedience and the other places there. We can't really go east because of the huge cavernous watery ravine here in Wend. So those are our two options unless we want to go back through Rebirth, which we don't want to do. So we can go north or west at this point. So I'm considering, and at this moment we decide that we're going to try to go north. Unfortunately, Wall can't move yet, but Zan can carry Cirrus, so I can just take him with me. So after a moment here, we're going to start walking. I'm just kind of verifying their stats to see how soon Wall will wake up. With that negative 40 stomach, it's going to be a while before he regains consciousness. Same with Cirrus with his negative 58 chest. Neither of them are going to be walking anytime soon. So we start the very slow 2 mile per hour walk with Zan as he carries Cirrus. Because our main character is Cirrus. He's the only one who really matters. The other ones can die, but we need a human male in order to do what our plan is. So if Cirrus dies, we're basically ruined, essentially. But we cut here to us going into the Floodlands, and all of a sudden I see a bad thing right here, an iron spider. They are very strong, much faster than us, and I immediately decide, yeah, we're leaving. I did not know what enemies we would find in here, but iron spiders are not one that we want to fight. At least not right now. We are unarmed, not very well geared, and we cannot take a beating at all. So we're going to turn around, and unfortunately we are going to be forced to go west towards Obedience and possibly somewhere else around there. But our main objective right now, that we have some food and some medical supplies, is to find, first of all, weapons. Second of all, a safe place that we can hide out to start gaining equipment, and then start to prosper from there. So we're going to cut to right here where we're back to wall, and since the Flotsam Ninja doesn't seem to be upset, I go into their building, and I'm going to go ahead and just put Cirrus into the bed. So when an NPC or a character is in bed, they'll heal much faster. And what we're going to do is have our characters heal up so they can all walk at the same time. So Zan is going to go pick up Wall and put him in the bed as well, so that way they can recover much faster. And that's what we'll be doing. As you can see them carrying him up here. And at this point I realize that Zan is a female Shrek, or S-H-E-K, Sheik, whatever they want to be called. I don't really know how to pronounce their name entirely. It's like that thing where like you've only read words, so you don't know how to like properly pronounce them. But anyway, they're all here, and I'm kind of looking around to see if there's anything else I might want to take. But given the fact that the ninja is out front still, and we aren't very adept at stealing, because I look right here and I got, oh look at that, it's a 42% chance. Yeah, and it doesn't help if I sneak. So we're not taking anything. We're just going to do a quick cut. And our guys have healed up a little bit, so Zan's getting rest now while Cirrus is up and about. Because Zan, if you remember, his leg was pretty well damaged, so we want to wait for that to happen. But in just a moment, something miraculous is going to happen. Wait for it. I see a green dot moving. I see the fourth slave who accompanied us managed to get away. They have a little damage to their head, they're very hungry, but they managed to survive. They got out somehow. They escaped by themselves and joined us. Don't ask me how they did it. I was expecting to never see them again, but we have a fourth character now. I saw a character on the road, so I was like, oh, hey. And then he starts talking, and I see I can talk to him. So I open up the dialogue, and long story short, this skeleton, thinks the humans are bad, and thinks that we're going to kill him or report him to the Empire or something like that. But we basically tell him, like, hey, no, let's help each other out, and the Holy Nation can go screw itself. We don't like the Holy Nation here. I'm kind of reading through the options here, so it takes a little bit, but you can kind of pause and read the stuff if you need to, or if you feel like it. And this is the cool thing about Kenshi, is you have just like these random encounters with characters, and where they're at kind of changes depending upon your playthrough. Sometimes you can find them in certain areas, other times they're just roaming the entire map. And luckily, surprisingly, Patch is a character you can recruit to your team. So we managed to talk Patch, this skeleton warrior with really good stats. 26 attack, pretty much everything is like 20 for him that matters. So both of these guys now join us. And Patch is able to become basically the hard carry for our team right now. So we're going to regroup with the other three and try to get everyone healthy enough to move at the moment. It's kind of the plan here. So luckily Patch has his own weapon and armor, so we don't have to worry about getting him anything right now. And skeletons have a great advantage in the fact that they don't need to eat, which is perfect. So at this point we're going to take some stuff from Cirrus and give them to Gills, who is currently starving to death. You can see by the yellow background that they're starving. And try to take some of the gear away here. So we're going to grab some bandages from everyone. And if you look at the skeleton inventory, he has like a little repair kit thing there. And that's to repair him. You can see his like stats are blue. That indicates that they're mechanical. And they can only be healed by a repair kit. or as everyone else uses, medical supplies. So we jumped a little bit forward here in time to when everyone gets a little more healed up, and I decide we're gonna start heading out because we're not in perfect health, but we do need to start moving, right? And at this point, I notice we're moving really slow, and I see that's because of Zan, whose leg is still pretty banged up. He's moving at, I think, 4 or 8 miles per hour. So I'm gonna have Patch pick him up, because Patch is our strongest character at the moment, and with him carrying Zan, we'll be able to move a lot faster, essentially. And so we begin our journey to the west in order to hopefully survive a little bit here. So I'm making waypoints on the map and just fast forward until they get there. So the one thing that is a negative here is with an extra human, we are going to have less food to go around. But we're going to jump here to where we're in the next area, and we're looking around. So, welcome to the Floodlands. We're just going to be in here for a moment as we go around the area real quick. One thing that's also really cool is that the characters start talking to each other as they journey. So if you have certain characters, they'll say certain things, and they'll like discuss, various things that are going on in the world or about themselves or stuff like that, just to kind of pass the time as they walk, which is a really neat feature, So we're going to continue to walk up and around and kind of figure out where we're going. You can see me panning around the camera and everything, and that's me attempting to make sure that there's no one in our way who is going to ambush us, attack us, kill us. Because remember, we're moving really slow right now, and because we're slow, we won't be able to outrun anyone, and Patch is the only one capable of attacking and fighting off anyone, right? So I kind of know what's in obedience. It's mostly iron spiders, so we're going to go south now and hopefully get to somewhere that is less dangerous for us. And that is the current plan. So we move out, and they continue talking, sometimes here and there, as they do. But we continue our journey through the Empire of the Flame nonsense. So, yeah, fun. Alright, folks, and so we're gonna keep going through the sand and all that. It's really cool about the dialogue, because you can hear them talking about Cat Lion, and then Bugmaster, Igor, Stone Golem, Ark, and if you don't know who those people are, you're like, oh, they're just talking about some really strong people. Which is interesting. They're like kind of legends in the world that you can actually find, hunt down, and end up defeating if you're strong enough, but they're very, very strong. So here we're stumbling upon a ruined Holy Nation outpost right here. You can kind of see it right there in the distance. And we're going to run up to it. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe we can find something to loot, something to grab, Maybe that would be what we can do. But then I see the Fogmen hanging out inside. And I'm like, oh, crap. What kind of stuff is in here? So I'm pressing the button that lets you see items on the ground. And there's some weapons around here and stuff like that. And, it'd be nice if we could get in there and get weapons for everyone. But unfortunately, with the Fogmen hanging out, it's going to be a little bit difficult. So I figure I can wait for them to try to leave here, because they're going off into a different area, right? So I have my guys get up here next to the wall so we can maybe sneak in. But then I notice over here there's more inside. And not only are there more inside, well, they have these poles here, which are prisoner poles, kind of like what the Holy Nation had, except these prisoner poles, very specifically for the Fogmen, it's not a good time. And I'm not going to ruin the surprise of what the Fogmen do with these poles, but maybe sometime we'll come across the Fogmen and be able to see what happens with their prisoner poles. But regardless, that's their base. We cannot risk fighting them right now because they're all much faster and stronger than me. So I'm just going to have my guys kind of walk around. And so we're going to start going into the distance here, heading down south. There are just to the left of us, or to the, I guess the west, is the Fog Islands, but we cannot make it through those given how slow we are right now. So we're going to keep heading south here. You'll see on our left there's a Holy Nation farm or a mining outpost. They have those kind of scattered all over to produce resources. But we're just going to keep going by it because if we get too close, then, well, they're going to see us and try to capture and enslave us again. We also just discovered a Holy Nation military base, which is actually right up ahead here. And as we struggle with the camera, we'll notice something up ahead here in just a moment. That's going to make me stop dead in my tracks. But for now, we keep running. And then I see it. Right there. 2 squadrons, or platoons, whatever you want to call them, of Holy Nation warriors. All of which could easily kill us all, pretty much. Only Patch would be able to kind of hold his own, but barely. So we're going to have to turn around and run the other way. And so we do that. We're just going to get as far away as we can, because we're still trying to survive out here. We don't have the ability to fight back. You can see some green in the upper left corner for a second there as we pan this way and try to get out of this desert area for now. But you can kind of see the green grassland to our left there. And that's eventually where we're going to be attempting to establish a base during this playthrough. Because it has really fertile, nice ground, and we can like grow a lot of crops and stuff there. But for now, we don't want to mess around too much longer in Holy Nation territory. So we're just trying to get the hell out of here. So you can see the places labeled on the map. We're in Ulkran's Gulf right now, which means we're still part of the Holy Nation area. So we need to get the hell out of here. And do so fast, because if we run into any Holy Nation patrols and they notice us, we won't be able to outrun them. We might have to leave someone behind in order to get away. So we're going to kind of make our way down to a region known as the Border Zone, which is usually where newer players start out at when they begin as like a wanderer or other game parts here. I did notice that we had some traders walking along, but they were just animal traders. And then we ran into an issue here. Some dust bandits. Not as bad as the Holy Nation, but they are enemies who will try to attack you, take your food and your gear. So I'm contemplating whether or not we want to sacrifice someone or just keep trying to run. And I think we're going to try to run here. We can kind of see him coming, and then I was like, if just one we could turn around and fight, but then I saw the rest coming, and I'm like, yeah, we're just going to leave. I do see there's a lone shack up ahead on the map. And so we're going to try to keep running, because when they try to attack, they pause for a second, so they kind of lose back there. But Gills, unfortunately, gets hit and keeps getting hit, so he's going to end up not in a good way here. And he's going to, unfortunately, fall in a moment. But I see these guys here. These are ninjas. So I'm hoping if we run past them, the dust bandits will get aggroed on them. But it does not happen. In fact, I'm just taking damage, so I'm like, okay, well, these guys aren't going to help us, apparently. So let's keep running down towards the hub, which is the town we are going to spend some more time in. Luckily, it's a safe haven for us. And unfortunately, Gills goes down here. He's not dead, but he has gone down. But we're at the hub now, which means we can run inside. And there are some people in the hub who don't take too kindly to dust bandits. But for the most part, this place is a lawless area. So you can see we're here in the hub. This is like a bar. So we're just kind of going to chill for a second. And I was hoping I lost them, but unfortunately we did not. So we are unfortunately going to have to fight them off here. So I'm going to have Patch do just that. And try to get my other guys to survive during this fight. Patch should be able to easily dispatch them since they are just weak little dust bandits. They don't do much damage to Patch, and Patch does a lot more damage to them. So as you can see, this is kind of how Kenshi fighting works. They attack back and forth, and sometimes you can get multiple hits on a person, but Cirrus just went down, as you see. He's going to get back up, though, in just a moment. I'm going to have him come into here, pick up some weapons and other equipment. We're also going to take that item that instantly kills a bandit when they're down. We're going to take that item from them. And I think I'm going to take this helmet, too, because that helmet appears to be better than mine. Alright. So that's one bandit down, a couple more to go. So Cirrus is going to start helping Patch out with that guy. At least that's the plan. But he's not going to be doing much, so I'm going to put him on block. So that way he at least doesn't take any more damage. And he'll try to block some things. I also set Zan and Wall to block as well. So they can try to work on their blocking ability. Since they're not going to do any damage with fists, let's be completely honest. So in the meantime, I'm trying to have Cirrus heal himself while Patch deals with that one, since Zan is distracting the rest of them. And now that Patch is done, we're going to have him take out this bowman, so that way we do not keep getting ranged down to death. So Cirrus is going to go over here and take this guy's cats and the execution thing, just so that we make sure that he does not get back up and attack again. So in the meantime, I'm just taking his stuff, essentially, as you can see. So this is kind of how it goes. Another dust bandit died, and we're going to be taking his stuff and making sure he doesn't get back up. So this one had the dart gun, so he had some ammunition on him as well for that. And it looks like one of our guys, or both of our guys, are down here, so we're going to heal them back up. And remember, Gills is still dying outside the walls, but he might be a lost cause if there's more dust bandits around, so we're going to focus on the guys we can save for right now. And that's how it's going to go. So Patch is still fighting there. He has 2 more guys, it looks like, to deal with. And 1 more has fallen. So Patch is taking some damage, as you can see, from me thumbing over him there just a moment. But he seems to be doing pretty well. And especially now, since the guy who was using a bow is forced into melee range, it's going to be over pretty quick. And I'm having Patch here take that stuff real quick, like, so that guy doesn't get back up. But we're going to re-engage and go from there. So with Cirrus, I'm going to have him go back and try to save Gills before Gills dies. And Patch just finished off the last dust bandit that was giving him problems, so we are good to go. Wall is still taking a little bit of damage here and in the dying state, so Patch is going to heal him up, while Cirrus attempts to sprint over to Gills to save him. But as you can see, Gills is currently dying. He is real close to death, and luckily the dust bandits are walking away just in time for us to get down near him. So we're able to start fixing him up, saving his life, and now he is at no longer risk of dying, because you can lose legs and arms, but if you lose your chest, stomach, or head, you're dead. So he'll be healed up here, and now we're going to finish healing ourselves, because we didn't finish healing Cirrus. And once Gills is fully fixed up, we're going to pick him up and take him back into the city. So that's what we'll do. I also stopped by over here to see what exactly this guy does, but I still don't really understand what he does. He apparently helps out with issues with guards or something? I guess if, like, we have a bounty, maybe we could pay it off there, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm not even sure what mod adds that building and those people, so whatever. But taking a look around here, making sure that everyone is healed up, repaired, and ready to go, so we're not losing any additional health and stuff. But we make the journey back across. I'm trying to see because I saw some numbers flying over there, which means someone was attacking something, but unfortunately couldn't see what it was. Too far away. And you'll notice as I like move around and do stuff with the camera, whoever I'm selected on as the main character, I have like a radius around them that I can look for the camera to fly around in. So that's why sometimes it's kind of wonky. Also, I noticed as I passed by that there was a dust bandit in the latrine just kind of chilling there. So that was kind of funny. Surprised he wasn't trying to kill us or anything. But all of our guys are here, and we managed to survive that little skirmish. Not very well, mind you, since we're all dead, but for the rest of that, I was just looting stuff. And now we are going to go ahead and trade with the guild, with the bartender here, selling off any of the clothing and loot that we got from the bandits here. So it'll not give us a bunch of money, since it is bandit gear that's pretty bad, but it will get us enough to be able to buy some food. And right now I'm comparing the amount of money that the food cost versus the nutrition. And nutrition is what gets you not starving, essentially. So I'm trying to find some stuff that's, cheap, but not, like, bad. But good old dried, cooked meat is pretty decent, coming in at less than 100 cats for 15, and then the rice bowls are also pretty decent there. But everything else is kind of expensive. But I'm going to go ahead and just sell everything else that we have as we go through this. So you'll just see me selling some stuff here and there, and then kind of perusing to see what they have in terms of items to sell. So you can see like the food and stuff, and one of the mods I have is that all food fits into a 2x2 square grid. And another thing that I have is that most items stack, so you'll see like those iron plates in the upper right, and a lot of the food and bandages and medical supplies, all that stuff stacks. In the base game it doesn't, but I feel like it should, so I have a mod that does that. But now I'm looking around the guild, or not the guild, the bar, to see exactly who is here. 'Cause sometimes you can find people to buy their services of, and they'll join your squad for like 1,000 cats, which is the money in the game, is cats. So I'm trying to see if anyone would be interested, but I'm talking to this guy, and he says he's asking for a bastion. And I'm like, nope, not interested. But I think maybe if I would have said, yeah, I will fight you, he might have joined us, or I might have had to fight him, and then at some point he would have been like, oh, okay, we're done. So, but once we've finished selling stuff, I do see there's some starving bandits out here that were attacked by the guards or slavers or something, and I was like, maybe I can sell some of their stuff, but it's all really cheap, like not even worth the time, to be honest. So I very quickly give up on that. I was hoping for better stuff, but yeah, it's all just trash. You can see I kind of take it in my inventory here for a moment, but then after a little bit of more inspection of it, I decided to get rid of it for the most part. Or maybe I keep it and sell it, but I don't go back for more. They did have looks like a bone dog there that had some fresh meat on it, along with some teeth that we can sell. So I went ahead and sell all that equipment. Nice and easily there. And that's just me trading some more, so easy peasy. Now after we have finished trading, it is now time, since we're in a safe place, we're not on the run right now, I decided to build, or not build, but purchase our first building. So this will be kind of a little safe haven for us, a place that we can call our own, that we can actually build stuff at, and kind of survive it. And it's been a minute since I've played, so I can't quite remember how to repair the building. It takes me a minute. I have to right-click. You hold right-click and then you choose repair. But you'll see me do it here in a moment. There you go. and then it'll bring up a construction blueprint kind of thing. Now, in order to build it, we need building materials. So I go back to the bar to see if there were any there that maybe I missed. Talk to him, and unfortunately, he has no building materials. So we're kind of out of luck in that field. But I do see a trader going by, so I'm trying to talk to him, see if maybe he's a trader that has the building materials and stuff that we need on him like that. But unfortunately, he just sells plants, which completely useless to us. So, with that being said, I'm just kind of inspecting things around town. I'm contemplating attacking the Dust Bandit unprovoked to get some free combat experience there. But I don't really want to risk getting injured or anything while we're doing that. So, at this point, I'm starting to look around town to see if there's anything nearby I can use to make a little bit of money here and get my characters what they need, and also trade some food and stuff since some of the characters are still dying. But yeah, so from this point on, there's kind of two things that we're going to be doing: getting supplies and building up our base, and earning money, I guess. So three things technically. So after some looking around and moving patch to try to find a place that sells building materials, I found down there a copper mine. So I'm going to have Cirrus and Zen go get that copper mine there. You can see them coming down here. Zan's foot is still pretty whacked, but that's fine. But we can start mining copper, and it'll help us get copper, which we can sell, of course. And copper is a very decent way to start out by mining, a way to not get thrown in jail. You can just mine any copper deposit you find, sell it to shopkeepers, and call it good. So that's great. In the meantime, Patch, our fastest guy, is going to go over to here to the way station, which apparently spawned in twice because there's twice the population there should be here. I don't know what exactly caused this, but I'm looking to see if there's any traders or anyone to talk to here, but doesn't appear to be. So I go in the first place, see what they have to sell. I'm trying to find the seller here. And I found him, so we're going to talk to him. And I think those are building materials, but nope, they're just materials for, or backpacks for animals and stuff. And I'm contemplating buying a backpack, but I'm like, no, I need building materials. I cannot waste my time getting stuff that I do not need right now, but I'm not sure how many building materials I'm going to be able to buy. So we go out, go to the next shop, which I believe should have supplies in it, because it is a merchant shop here. So we're going to talk to the guy, and lo and behold, he has 131 building materials, which is very good for us. So I buy pretty much all we can, at least 10, and I also want to get some metal plates, or some iron plates, that is, in order to build some other things. So now that we've spent all of our money and our hard earned money by selling bandit scraps is down to 29 cats now. So we're going to go ahead and send our guy back and go from there. Okay. So we do a little cut here, Patch is back, and we start to build the shack here. So with the building materials, we can assign people to start building. Whoever has the materials will put the materials to build the thing into the structure to be built, and then anyone can join in and assist on building. So now that we have the place not ruined, we're going to start by putting down a small research bench. This is what we will use a lot to start getting research done, which we need in order to build other structures and do other things. So I'm going to try to put it in the corner here, and then we'll hit confirm to start building the structure, and now Patch will go up here and add materials and finish building it. And I'll have Wall help out to make it go by a little bit faster here. Alright. Now that the workbench is done, and we have some extra building supplies, I want to check out what else we can build. I was thinking about maybe getting a bed, but we need a sleeping bag for that, which we do not have. And nothing else that we can build will really help us right now, because much of the stuff can't be built inside here, unfortunately. So we're going to open up research, and we're going to search for stuff that we can start researching right now. So gear storage, item storage, public sales, all that good jazz. And I think that's mostly all, except for some of this stuff. It's just building materials, storage boxes, all of that. Excellent. So, we're going to have Patch, our skeleton, who gets a bonus to science stuff, I believe. He's going to start researching. Meanwhile, Wall is going to pick up Gills, and we're going to bring him over into our hut so that he can have shelter, I guess. And we're going to have Zan pick up the copper that we've been mining, and we're going to have him come back to town. Limp in his way, and since he's burdened with so much copper, he's going to be really, really slow. So we're going to do a cut and get him here to the village. So that night he ends up coming back with our, I think it was like 13, 11, something like that, 14 copper. We sell it, and from 39 cats to 2,745. And luckily this guy has some building materials, so we're going to take those. I also take the fabric, since that can be used for things like beds and whatnot. And I'm also looking to see if there's anything else I want to get, like food, for example. And then I look over these blueprints, which can be used to research certain things. They unlock things you can research and then build. But nothing is anything that we're going to need right now, so I just ignore them and call my shopping spree good. Once we decide to. And so, with that completed, I checked to see if there's anything else we can build real quick, now that we've researched a little bit. And you can see we have some more options here, one being a general storage box and a storage chest. We're going to build a storage chest so we have something to put things into. So I'm trying to find a nice place right here, and we'll place it right there. So now we'll have Zan come over here, and we're also going to have both of them be assigned an engineering job. So that way, anytime something needs built, they will start building it when they're free. Alrighty. So, as you can see, we're still mining with Cirrus, trying to get that copper, and that's sort of where it ends for today. We managed to get safely to a city that, well, I guess it's a bar, not much of a city, since that's the only standing structure, where we can kind of be safe, we can start making a name for ourselves, start gaining a little bit of strength, and next time is going to be when we really start kicking things off and earning a lot of money. And you'll see how that all works. Hopefully we can get a bed or something next time so that we can rest and regenerate our health, but we are still in desperate need of food, and we can get that with money. So until then, bye-bye for now.